Telemark's just different. The freeness of it, how much movement you have. A lot of people think that it's difficult just because it looks complicated, but it's just a different style of skiing.
Jas Taylor is 25 years old and hails from Ipswich. In 2018, she had her best season to date, with 14 podium finishes and 4 wins to her name. With no British Telemark heritage to speak of, I was keen to learn how she found Telemark and what she knows about this ancient sport.
Telemark is the only sport in the world to be named after the area it was invented.
Yeah, Telemark in Norway.
It was originally used to travel all over the mountain, to walk up the mountain, ski down, skate and jump.
The pioneer of telemarking was a Norwegian called Sondre Norheim. He invented the cable binding and the technique that went with it. So how did you get into it? Were you alpine before you were telemark?
Yeah, so I started skiing on the dry ski slopes in England, and I then went on to snow with the British Ski Academy. We had a trial week in telemark and just loved it. In the race discipline, we actually have a giant slalom, we have a jump, we have a loom, so like a giant bank turn, and also a skate section.
But you do get penalised for skiing too alpine, don't you?
Yes, we do. The goal is to be fast, but also to ski with the perfect telemark technique. At the jump, you have a clearance line. If you don't clear the line, you have a 3-second penalty. And if you don't land telemark, you have a further second. So you have to make sure you get the jump right.
Right, okay. And then the skating section, is that similar to cross country?
It's more like a real sprint finish on a cross country race. But we're obviously on telemark equipment, and we've skied the giant slalom with cross-country poles. So it's all just a bit bonkers and kind of like a triathlon on skis.
Can I give it a go?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. I'm not used to my boot doing that. Okay, I'm in. This is the not normal bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Pretty much.
Whoa! Definitely feel that my left foot is worse than my right.
Nice. That's it.
That's really tiring.
He's not bad, actually. You're right, Graham.
Yeah, I need oxygen. And a beer. In recent years, telemark has been dominated by Switzerland's Raymond. She's won 11 world titles and, as with so many of the alpine greats, her presence alone can be enough to set her apart from the rest. But she took last year off to have a baby, enabling the likes of Jas to step up to the mark. So Jas, you had a great season last year. Where are you in the world right now?
So I'm second in the overall ranking for the parallel sprint, third in the classic and fourth in the sprint.
What's made the difference?
I think it's just a combination of things all coming together. Everybody knows it takes a long time in sport to get good, so yeah, I think it's time and training and sticking at it, really.
Jas is a modest character, so it was up to her coach Seb to explain to me just how determined she's been right from the start.
At the beginning, she asked me, can I beat Amélie Raymond one day? How you know her? And she said, oh, I study. I know who is the best, and I want to be the best. And since that day, all she did in telemark was to be the best. I don't know exactly the word in English, but she never releases. When she bites something, she never releases the pressure on it, like a pit bull.
Ambitious, tenacious and determined, Jas was quietly confident heading into the first World Cup of the season in La Tuile last week. So Jas has already competed this weekend. She was fourth in the sprint event. Today's the longer classic discipline. And it turns out I'm going to be a forerunner. Hope I can still remember how to do it. Wish me luck. So this is the Berthold piste. It's a black run. It's really steep. It hosted a women's downhill a couple of years ago. Let's go have a look at it. At the start, there are yellow gates on the first part of the course, which means you don't need to go into a telemark position. Now you need to set up, you see the red line, and you drop the first time into telemark. Telemark through here. This is the steepest part of the course. It's also pretty icy down here. Now, approaching the jump, you have another yellow gate, and you come through, and you have to jump away to try and clear that line. Legs are burning up now. Have to breathe here as we're coming up to the loom. Ride it round on the bank and out. Now we're onto the skating section. Oh my word. Just no oxygen. It's like having to do a sprint. I can't talk. I hope Jazz does. I hope Jazz can show us how it's done. I'm rarely that out of breath, but I was in a world of pain. It was like doing a downhill with a cross-country race on the end. My legs and lungs were screaming. But watching Jazz in action, I was struck by how effortless she made this beautiful and grueling discipline appear.
Next on course from Great Britain, Jasmine Taylor. She's a bit of a classic specialist, loves to skate.
Jazz is incredibly strong and fit. I must say, I've been at the gym with her a couple times. I think she can squat more than me. She is wicked strong. So I'm excited to see what she can do.
Jasmine Taylor safely over the jump. Looks like she made the line, going slightly back into the Alpine stance. It'll be difficult to say whether she picks up a penalty point for that or not. Just a second off the mark here today. Having a great skate as well. Can she pip Amelie Raymond? She's got her work cut out, but I think she's in with a good chance here.
Beautiful skate technique from Jazz. Weight forward, good tempo.
Jasmine Taylor going for the line for Great Britain. It's going to be very, very close. I don't think she's done it.
So a great performance from Jazz. That penalty on the jump leaving her just 3 seconds shy of the winning time and in second place behind the returning Amélie Raymond. Sunday's sprint winner, Argeline Tan-Bouquet of France, was third.
It's probably one of my best performances in the Classic. I think my lungs and my legs are over there somewhere. I'm absolutely exhausted. When you hit the jump in the Classic, you're already quite tired. And of course you want to make the jump line, so you jump as hard as you can. And then you maybe don't anticipate how exhausted your legs already are. So it's just about hanging on and, you know, warrior mode and just staying with it.
So what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season?
Well, I'm looking forward to the World Championships in Norway and also just the rest of the tour. I love it.
Do you think the sport's going to grow from now on?
I think so. There are many improvements going on, certainly behind the scenes, and I think people are just as motivated now as they ever were, if not more.
So the future's bright for Telemark.
I certainly hope so.